You're watching Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com.
I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is not much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
This is the hair.
Check your messages.
Yeah, I saw you.
All right.
I have to see if I can hook it up. We're having trouble getting Deb in. So we're going to try and see if we can do it.
Welcome to another Friday night that we actually show up.
Yeah.
Because it's playoff hockey season.
I'm sorry. I'm telling you, I can't help it. Memorial Cup is like, there's literally no more than 2 more weeks max of me doing this shit. Fuck the NHL. I don't care about that. But major junior hockey, I do care about.
It is better for hockey.
Where's Memorial Cup played this year?
Kamloops.
Well, I mean, it's a nice rink.
It's either going to be in the West. It's either going to be Winnipeg or Seattle.
They say Seattle's the team. I don't know anybody out there that much. Obviously, the West fucking coast, so I don't really ever catch much of it. But I've obviously followed the OHL quite a bit, and obviously the Q's are a league. So
they don't have an OHL version there.
It's called they do.
Q.
It's the Western Hockey. West of Ontario is the WHL.
Okay.
The Ontario Hockey League's the OHL, which is what I'm really following because my brother's a coach of one of the teams. And the Halifax Mooseheads and Cape Breton Screaming Eagles in Nova Scotia are part of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. And then the Memorial Cup is the champion of all 3 leagues and the host.
So Kamloops is playing for sure because whichever city
they're in.
Game is, that's the host. So Kamloops will be playing against whoever wins.
It's an extremely fun tournament. It's it's almost like professional, like kids grow up in these round robin hockey tournaments, right? Like play each other once and top 3 or 4 teams move on to the medal round. And they only play 3, they only play each other 3 games, and each of those 3 games in the round robin are crucial.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a fun tournament. Halifax hosted it when I was 2001,
Marcel.
and it was phenomenal. It was so fun.
Oh, the atmosphere is totally different too.
Oh, it's just, I think it was 2001. Or was it 9? I was either working in Halifax or I was in college. Maybe been working. I can't remember. Maybe in 99. Maybe in college. I can't remember.
We are trying to bring Deb in on the phone because she's in the middle of nowhere, Nova Scotiaville.
So tonight's game is London versus Peterborough?
Yeah, Peterborough is the team my brother's an assistant coach for.
All right.
And
so,
they could win the league tonight, potentially, in London.
And then they're going to the Memorial Cup.
If they happen to win, yes.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's interesting, just the background of it.
Yeah.
Just because.
Where's the cup played?
This year is in Kamloops.
Yeah.
Oh,
it moves every year.
Okay.
But the interesting story about the Heats was they struggled the whole way down the season. Yeah. And the playoffs came on and they went bam and turned it on. They eliminated the number 1, number 2, and I think the number 5 seed. And I think if they win this one, I think they beat the number 3 seed.
Nice.
Like, it would be a very great story for them that they actually went the hard way and beat everyone.
All right, so
But it's not over till it's over, as they say.
Sorry, I thought that was hockey. That's about as hockey as I could find on Frost Fest.
The horn sounds like a goal horn to me. But yeah, so that's been whatever reason though. Every fucking game is on a Friday night. Al, I'm sorry, everybody.
It's okay. It's okay.
And the one night it wasn't, my wife made me go to bingo. It was a fundraiser bingo for the hospital foundation.
Uh-oh. Did I miss something? No, I didn't miss it.
And I'll tell you one thing, even high, I don't get bingo.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Has anybody watched the Pink Ladies yet? The new Grease show?
No.
No.
I made it through about 5 minutes. I sang the song and then I left.
I love the musical Grease, like the movie, and I loved it. Like I did enjoy it.
And they did, and I won't be a spoiler, but the only thing that they did that I enjoyed was a recap of the original song at the end. You know, Grease is the word. And it wasn't bad. I think my musical days are done.
I know what I did buy for this summer is my tickets to the Book of Mormon.
Why?
Well, I've seen it before in New York on Broadway.
Yes.
But it's a traveling show going on this year in Halifax or at the Scotiabank Center. You guys, you're aware of what it is who wrote the play, right? Or no?
Tell us about it.
The gentlemen from South Park are the writers of the play.
Okay. So
it's hilarious.
I don't find South Park humor very funny, to be honest.
I do. It has its hit and misses. I agree with you, but the Book of Mormon, if it's a traveling show coming to your community anywhere across Canada, it's awesome. It's funny. You'll enjoy it.
My tastes have changed. Like, for instance, I used to watch, we've talked about this before, Dave Allen at Large, Benny Hill.
Yeah.
I've tried recently watching Monty Python. The movies do nothing for me. The shows are still funny, but the movies.
Oh, I watched The Holy Grail not too long ago. It's so funny.
And there are some scenes that and you're automatically going nee.
Yeah.
But I didn't find it roly-poly laughter like when I was first saw it, and I saw it originally in the theater like everybody else.
I didn't watch it in the theater. I wasn't quite old enough.
I'm sorry, I just dated myself. Yeah. What's going on, Marcel?
Nothing. I sent her the number.
Yeah. Hey, Marcel, I've never seen this before in my life. Quebec and the Mooseheads.
Yeah.
Goalie for one goalie's name Matthias Russo. The other one's named William Russo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Saved by Russo.
Yeah, Saved by Russo. Doesn't matter which.
What are the odds?
Since
they've still got 3 more games to play.
Yeah.
Since we're talking
Moose
about
got to win tonight, man.
Sports and stuff,
I actually predicted the Moose to win tonight.
The internet.
I don't think it's over.
There's a Netflix show called McGregor. It's about McGregor.
Conor McGregor? I haven't watched it yet.
And I've watched 3 episodes already. It's not bad. He's at one.
I'm sure it's good.
Motherfucker, but Jesus Christ.
He is arrogant as fuck.
I'll tell you he's arrogant, though. That's the cool thing.
Well, no, but it's his shtick too, right?
I know. But
He's going to WWE, man.
Is he?
Well, the WWE
Endeavor
got
bought
out by the
WWE.
UFC.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of crossover.
Well,
eventually, yeah.
Ronda Rousey's already there. She's been there.
Well, what it is when the fighters can't fight anymore, they'll enter wrestling.
Billy, what's his name? He died this week. Billy Graham died this week.
Bring it back to cannabis. Did you guys fill out your Health Canada
Hold on. Let's
request
see
for
if this
information?
works.
You what?
Wasn't there like a public thing? Well,
Hello?
there is. It's for any Canadian.
Hmm.
It was
Hello?
request for information or
Hi, Dan.
for Health
Hold on a
Canada
sec,
on some
okay?
specific
I'm just trying
issues.
to- we can get this working.
Are you talking about the survey?
Yeah. Oh, there was the survey, but now I think it's called it's a request for. It's on StratCan and Canadian Gazette.
I got a phone call.
Yeah.
Asking me if I would do a Health Canada survey on medical cannabis.
Yeah. No, it's not the survey.
No, but they sent me.
But I want to hear this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that one.
Hold on one second, Marcel. Deb, can you hear them?
1-0 Moose.
Okay, hold on a sec. Speak again, please, Deb.
Hey.
Oh, look, she's there.
A little bit. Yep.
I'll turn her
I
up.
wasn't sure if I was talking to the upfront crew or the backstage guys.
We don't have backstage guys anymore.
I'm both. So you can hear them?
Yes.
And they can hear you?
Yes.
Hi, Debbie. We've missed you.
Hello.
How are you?
I missed you too.
So on
Not
the
too
phone
bad, thanks.
is Debbie still skiffing from Mum, and I'm gonna, because Marcel's involved in this, I'm gonna let them have a conversation and then we'll ask questions. How's that?
Sure.
I'm glad this works. This is the first time we've tried this. Now we can take phone calls.
Yeah.
I'm an experiment. Yay.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're as brave as Debbie to call us.
Well, see, I've always got the option of being able to hang up.
Fair enough. But here's the thing. We have the option of hanging up on you.
True enough.
And I've only done that to two people.
Okay, let me finish explaining this, and then Debbie and I will chat about what.
Yeah, the
what's
survey.
going
I'd like
on.
to hear what this was all about.
Okay.
So I said yes. So they texted me a link to do the survey. I did the survey. It takes probably 30 minutes, but it's a survey on usage of how much cannabis you use, how often you use it, if you use tobacco, what other medications you use if you're a medical patient, things like that. So it's quite an in-depth survey, but it seemed to stress a lot of access, of where you get it, and dosage strengths.
This is all the new stuff that they're talking about.
Yeah, this is the survey that they sent out, but it sounds like it was only sent out to select few people.
I've seen a few people posting about it and a couple with links.
I haven't heard about it.
But no, that's the thing is I tried to share the link so people could see what the survey is, and as soon as you do the survey, that link is no longer shareable.
Yeah, it's an individual. It's a coded individual link. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one that you did last week, yes?
Yeah, it's anonymous.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not really anonymous because it's going to your phone.
Yeah, they know your IP anyway.
Yeah.
Wow. Buggers.
So, yeah, but I don't care. I mean, I was totally honest.
Well, did you find it slanted at anything as far as trying to like walk you into some sort of direction?
No, because that's what I always look for is
me too. Like, what's your agenda here?
Yeah, what's your end goal, right? And this one didn't seem to have one. I mean, there was a lot of questions about opiates and things like cocaine and stuff like that. And from the sounds of it, the way you answer depends on whether or not it expands.
Okay.
Right. So I think because I was doing more on the medical side, I ended up getting a whole lot more questions, but they were medically related. Well, it started out with about 10 questions. Then I think when I finished, I was probably around 40 or 50.
Wow. I know the last one I did, I finished it after the show. And
but I think
a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think with this one, if I was a recreational user and I'd only answered recreationally, yada, 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 it probably would have ended at 10. But I wouldn't do that anyways, because I want to see what else there is. A lot of question on pricing, affordability, the taxes. It's actually a half decent survey, surprisingly, when it had to do with Health Canada and cannabis. But I was at the consultation meeting, so I know how they work. They already know what they're doing for their changes. They're just trying to.
Yeah. So what I was talking about, if there was a Health Canada seek for potential amendment, there's a public survey out there that everyone, it was 60 days. 60-day notice of intent published on March 24th. So you have till May 24th. They have put up specific things, like you can just basically email them all of the requested changes you would like.
Oh, okay. So that's
a lot of it's on security. Yeah. Like they have specific questions and your comment, but it is very LP driven. But anyway, it's public to anyone. Like you're just emailing cannabis consultation at canada.ca.
Have you guys been to the Treaty Lobster Dish yet in Truro?
No.
Do you like lobster?
Yep.
He's basically, it's a trailer that he's selling.
No, I know, and I've driven by it. I know what you mean. Yeah.
We had lunch there the other day. It was awesome.
Are you going to talk to Deb soon?
I'm going to talk to Debbie right now.
Okay.
Is Debbie still here?
Yes. I am.
Just
waiting for you.
Do you know you're still showing up here in as a device not connected? That gets confusing. So Debbie Stoltz-Giffen is the chairperson for Maritimers Unite for Medical Marijuana in sunny Nova Scotia, covering all of Atlantic Canada, and she's here to talk to us about the upcoming event that happens pretty much every year that somebody's showing off a poster for.
No, I'm showing off the website.
Oh, that is the website.
Yes, it is.
That was a poster.
Oh, it is a poster. Yes.
Yes.
Is this year's poster?
No.
Okay.
That's Harvest Fest 12. What are we up to, Debbie? 15?
14 this year.
14. Yeah.
Yes. We had 2 years off because of COVID, where we did basically a cannabis camping weekend. And the campground allowed us to have a band or two play in the evening, but we weren't to make it look as if it was an event, because it would have nullified their insurance.
Right.
So it was low key, but an opportunity for members and supporters and friends to gather and enjoy each other's company.
So then this would be 16. Technically, this would be 16.
It's been 16 years, certainly.
Wow.
We started off in 2004 holding a hemp festival, and we held that for 2 years on the Annapolis Valley Exhibition Grounds until the final year. Mark Emery was arrested at the beginning of the festival, and Rick Reimer was arrested at the end of the festival.
Yeah.
So they basically shut us down, and we started the quest to find private property, and that took nearly 2 years. And Steve Miles, the late Steve Miles, offered up his property that we used for a few years as we got started, and it was basically a Sunday afternoon picnic with some education components and food and a little bit of entertainment, and now it's grown into a weekend-long festival.
So first one I went to
What
Pardon?
weekend is it?
This year, July
July
16th,
14th weekend.
14th. Yeah, 14th to 16th.
So again, this is an old poster, but now you know.
Yeah, we have lots of fun. No,
So-
we have education demos, speakers, live music, contests, games, vendors, food. I'm trying to get the lobster roll guy to go.
Are you?
Yeah, I think he'd make a killing with his lobster rolls.
We had George Evans brought lobster rolls one year, and it didn't go well.
What do you mean it didn't go well?
The lobster rolls?
Yeah.
He ended up selling them at half price at the end of the weekend, trying to recover some of his costs.
Oh, if I'd known that, I'd have bought more. I'd bought 10 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I fed my whole family. I didn't know he had extras. At half price, I'd probably brought another 10 or 20.
Well, I think Fluke picked up about a dozen and then went around giving them away to everybody.
Well, I mean, it's lobster. You can only eat so much. It's so rich.
For sure.
And shockingly, some people don't like it.
Yeah.
We've got a Jamaican Caribbean food truck coming this year for one of our food vendors.
Ooh, yummy.
Cool.
And I'm sure there'll be ice cream.
Beef patties?
Beef patties. Medicated beef patties? I've had medicated beef patties before.
I'm talking about just Jamaican beef patties. They're so good.
Yeah. We used to have somebody come in at the lounge, and they sold medicated beef patties.
Nice. I bet they were a hit.
And there was another guy that used to come in, and he sells, I think he still does it, medicated baklava, which is fucking awesome.
That would actually, I've looked at that because I've seriously been thinking of making baklava, and because I've never made it, I'd like to try it, and I love eating it. But
I think it would be an easy one to do because you just use your medicated honey, right? Because that's the prime. Isn't honey the prime ingredient? Honey and nuts.
Yeah, ideally pistachios, but it could be any nut. I've had it with walnuts and pecans, and they're both good.
I've had authentic, and I've had not so authentic. I used to go and volunteer at the Armenian Pavilion for Caravan because it was right around the corner from my house, and they would force feed me baklava.
Well, in Moncton, I stopped one day at my favorite sushi place to grab some sushi, and right next door to it is a new little store, and they are the masters of baklava. And you go in, and there's so many different kinds, and it all smells delicious in there.
Oh, they also sold it at Country Style at Bathurst and give me a minute. Bathurst and Bloor, right across the street, pretty much from Lee's Palace, is the Country Style. Please go in there and order some Hungarian food for me and mail it. I'm really craving it.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Stop talking about food. But I did go out with a Hungarian. I went out with a Hungarian girl in Montreal for a while, and her grandmother. She lived with her grandmother, and that woman could cook Hungarian food like you wouldn't believe. And a lot of it's good, but a lot of it to me is too greasy.
If it's made properly, it's not greasy.
Soup that you can see the oil floating on top of the soup.
If you're
too
in
greasy
Toronto,
to me.
If you're in Toronto and you like Hungarian food, go to the Country Style restaurant, and you will see that it's not greasy. You can get spretzel or rice or potatoes with it. They have baklava. They have a meat platter that'll feed a fucking army. Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, let's stop now.
Yeah, let's stop.
Yes, I thought we had a deal. No more chatter about food. And you blew it right out the gate, Al.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Are you done sneezing in our ears, Marcel?
I tried to cover it.
Here's a question for you all. Okay, a cannabis question. Why does cannabis make you sneeze? Is it the terpenes?
I would say
doesn't
so.
make me sneeze.
It can be. I'll tell you, and Darcy probably can talk about this. Just the cannabis plant. There's so many people allergic and can't tolerate the live plant.
Is that what it is?
Actually, what happens is a lot
crazy.
of times a lot of growers end up developing an allergic reaction
That as
to
well.
it.
But there's some people instantly, like harvest
Oh, yeah.
days. We have people wear respirators.
Yep.
Go because
it's crazy.
Because of the pollen, eh?
Yeah, but on a harvest day, it
No.
freaks some people out. Like, yeah, it's
No, Al, there is no pollen.
not pollen, but
Yeah, but if I have a hard time if I go into now I have a hard time if I go into a indoor grow room.
But
Within
it is the
seconds,
terpenes.
I start to clog up. If I rub up against the plants, I'll break out.
Like it's the terpenes. Like we have, I don't know if we're actually going to release it, but we were doing one genetic called Super Lemon Dog.
Ooh,
it was so lemony and pledgy, the trimmers had to go take breaks. They couldn't breathe.
Yeah. See,
It was just
that's the strains I like.
Yeah, well, no, well, exactly, but that's why I say I do think it's related to the terpenes. It was just so intense.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have the same issue with what we have now in two of the bedrooms.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. And FYI, this is another fun thing we can have a topic. Even though I'm going to go is the terpenes on that product was 1.33%. So people can shove their terpene tests up their ass. They're all fake. Go away the smell. Don't look at the fucking terpene lab. It doesn't make it. They're all bullshit.
I agree.
5% terpenes. Fuck off.
I believe what you. I believe everything you say there because that Down Air Kush, it's only 2.3 or something like that, or 2.6,
Yeah, and it's
way chirpier than that, Lenny.
And it's terpy as hell. That's why,
dude, it's so strong, man.
Yeah, like I believe in terpenes. I don't believe in the lab testing bullshit numbers out there. That's all I meant.
So Debbie,
I do have to go, guys. Go Pete's go. You guys enjoy the evening. I'm sorry. Probably 2 more weeks tops, and this is all over for me, Al. I'm sorry.
No problem. Don't be sorry. Have a drink for me.
Enjoy the game.
They'll lose if I don't watch. I'm telling you.
Enjoy, Lenny.
Later.
Lose anyways.
But do you have your lucky underwear on?
There you go.
No, I have my lucky palm tree. Go to my Facebook. You'll see my lucky palm tree. I'm serious. See you guys.
Okay. Check
Bye.
that out.
Bye.
See ya.
All righty.
That was fun.
That was fun.
So
those things, Deb, out there with you know, your group, Mum, and please tell people what Mum is.
Well, actually, Al, we're a registered not-for-profit, and the end of October is going to mark 20 years.
Wow.
We educate people about the relative safety of cannabis as medicine and how to use it in its many forms. We advocate for patients who use cannabis for therapeutic purposes, and we lobby all levels of government for meaningful change for patients in the medical cannabis program.
Wow.
You know, the way it should be.
And then we do fun shit like Harvest Fest.
And you have your Christmas stuff, your bazaars, and
yes, we were holding bazaars before COVID. I think we managed to sneak 1 or 2 in throughout COVID when restrictions lifted enough here and there. And we're back to holding them on a regular basis now.
That's awesome.
Just a 3-4 hour event where people can come in and shop with many vendors and win door prizes or partake in a ticket auction.
Well, that's you know, hey, how it should work.
So it feels good to be able to be back doing some of those things again after such a hiatus.
Yeah, it wasn't for some. It was not a fun hiatus, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not.
Marcel
What?
sounds like
I
he's
loved
about
it.
to say something.
No, I loved it.
You loved what?
I loved the whole lockdown thing. I'd love to have that back.
You
It was
don't
fucking
like people.
what? It's right. It was awesome. There was nobody around.
Away from him.
If you had to go on the road, you didn't have to worry about traffic because there was literally none.
And you were working then too.
Fucking right. So our drive back on which would normally be in, heavy traffic, there was literally no cars the entire highway. It was awesome.
I had reason a couple of times to be out on the highway for at least an hour drive to pick up some things and drop off some things here and there, and it was like a ghost town.
It was awesome.
Yeah, in Toronto too. At the beginning, it was people up here still wear masks, right? But I'm thinking that it's more so because they're not feeling well, but they still need to work, kind of thing. So what can you do?
We have some people here, but not that many.
We've had 3 boil water alerts over the last month. We're under one now. Seriously thinking about buying a Brita. But the water is fucking tasty up here, man. Yeah. So I apologize for the buzzing. If anybody can hear buzzing, that's just because we're on the phone with Deb today and I had to plug my phone in so we don't lose her.
I don't hear any buzzing.
You don't? Oh, well, maybe
No.
I'm just the only one that hears it. But
I can hear it, but
you?
that makes sense since you can hear it.
Well, yeah, because you're on the phone.
Yeah.
That's because Debbie's buzzing along.
So we're all buzzed. Yeah. So back to the Harvest Cup. It's not just the Harvest Cup and vendors and music and hanging out and stuff like that. There's another element to it. So why don't you? I know Marcel's in the know.
Well,
I know.
It's been we didn't have enough time last year to even think about doing the cup in conjunction with the festival. So this is the first year in a few that we're bringing back the John Cook Memorial Cup. This will be our 7th year for it.
I like that, and I've not heard anybody say it that way before. So is this new?
That's the way it's been written since day one.
Really? We see I'm dyslexic.
It's always been.
I read it properly.
Yeah. No, it's a Memorial Cup.
Somebody said no buzzing here. Okay, whoever that is. Hello.
John Cook was our original vice chair. He operated the first Compassion Club in Nova Scotia, and he passed away. I'm going to take a stab here. Probably 10 or 11 years ago. So when we decided to have a cup, of course, the overriding question is always, what the heck are we going to call it? So we decided that we wanted to host it in John's memory and in John's honor, certainly. And then the mum part just seemed to be more natural than going with the word memorial, since we had the acronym to play with. Originally, it started off with, I believe, and help me, Marcel, if I screw up here, it started off with edibles and just flour, I believe.
Dried flour and edibles.
Yeah.
And then we expanded to include concentrates the next year, I think.
Yes, and then the last cup we expanded to include topicals.
Yeah. And John Cook passed away
year
in
we-
2013.
My memory's not too bad then.
Yep, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
or almost 10.
Another component of our cup that is unique is that we have a category called Judge's Choice. So it's whatever entry in the whole cup that is awarded the most points from all of the judges. So that entry is considered the top entry, and it's Judge's Choice, and that person's name, their entry is engraved on a little plaque, and the trophy circulates from one shop to another amongst our local sponsors, and when we're able to, we'll grab it and take it to an event and put it on display to help promote the cup.
And I've got my samples already for the cup.
I was just going to say, how many things are you submitting this year, Marcel?
Well, I'm submitting one for edibles, and I might submit one for topicals. I don't
Darcy,
bother
are you
submitting
putting
for
anything
flower.
in?
I might. It all depends on how the next week or two goes, because I was gonna enter some rosin in.
Well, enter some rosin in.
But I don't know I don't know if I can get it squished and get it packaged up, because I got to package it up a certain way and do all that. So I don't know if I'll have time. Just because
I don't need it until June 9th.
Yeah, well,
You got
work's
till
picked
June
up
9th.
a lot. Yeah, I know, but work's picked up a lot, and I gotta go possibly have a surgery here at any time whenever they call me. I got
no excuses. You have a wife, teach her how to squish.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, so he's not going to even take amputation as an excuse, Darcy, by the sounds of it.
Nope.
No. Hey, I took the time out of my schedule to make up edibles. You can take your time too.
Okay then, Marcel.
For a good cause. Plus these edibles kick ass because I ate one already and I'm loving it.
So you found a video of
No.
a past event?
Yeah, but I'm not playing it
Why?
because I don't like it.
You don't like it, or you don't like somebody in it?
That too. And there's a few people in the video. Actually, I saw another video that I was in that I didn't even know that I was in. And Darcy was in. Darcy's tent was in. Actually, I don't think it was his tent. I think it was his closet. In the old house.
Oh.
It was a frost video.
Well, I have pictures. The pictures in this video that I'm going to show, which is our intro, are from Harvest Fest.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is not much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show.
All right, we don't need to see Lennie.
Oh, so you kept Darcy but got rid of Lennie? Did you have anybody else in there?
Just us.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Jeez. Should have had Debbie in there.
I have pictures of Debbie. I have pictures from there. Actually, I have lots of pictures from there. Let's see.
The video that I have is from 5 years ago. Do you remember Elijah doing a video?
Yes, I do.
That's one of the only videos I could find in regards to Mom's Harvest Fest.
There's a really good one that Mika's dad did and it would have been after Elijah. I think it was from. Well, it was the year that the boys from Kijisiku were there.
Oh, I remember the year. Well, that's the year that Al was there.
Yeah. I can't
Yep.
find
That
any
was
pictures.
2018, right before legalization.
Yep. Al was there that year. Al and Mary Jane were there.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
And Matt and Val were there.
I wonder how I could find that video.
And then I rushed home to move into my apartment. And now I'm here in the
And
middle.
I wonder what he would have called that video.
I don't know. I know that I could find our audio podcasts that we've done from there, but we didn't do any video. No, that's not true. We did do video, but you guys didn't see it. No, how long have we been using this, Marcel? And did we do one on Zoom maybe? Because you walked around one year.
Last year I walked around. I still have the scar.
Yeah, but on the air?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. I can't. Oh, yes, I can.
I smashed my knee into the glass blower's picnic table.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that now.
Open your eyes.
No, it was because it was pitch black and nobody had any goddamn lights.
Here you go, right here. Harvest Fest.
I never did see the video.
Let me see here.
Because I never watch our show.
Oh no, this was me harvesting.
Oh, that's not Harvest Fest.
No.
That's Al's Harvest Fest.
That was my Harvest Fest, yeah.
It was last August.
It was last August. Yeah, they're not, unfortunately, they're not grouped like that, right?
Why?
I don't know. You'll have to talk to StreamYard.
You can't sort by date?
No. It's not here. It's not here. So
it was that bad. Probably all the cursing that I did after slamming my knee.
Well,
we got censored.
No, I'm looking on our YouTube. See if we can find it there, and I'll let you know. So talk to Deb while I'm looking about stuff.
All right, Deb, have we got many entries coming in yet for the cup?
I'll take that as a no.
I picked one up from the mail today, and
Okay.
and I'm aware of several others that are coming.
Good. An assortment? I mean, if nobody else puts edibles in because I am, I'll feel bad, kind of.
No, actually, the edible category is the one I'm hearing the most about.
Good. I'm glad.
From entries that I'm expecting.
Good.
You know, mind you, not everybody reaches out and says, "Hey, I'm going to be sending you this or that." It's a matter of the closer you get to the date, things turning up.
Yeah. I got to figure out how I'm going to get these to you yet.
If Elliot happens to be coming home between now and then, he might be willing to bring them along.
Is Elliot still up here?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
He is.
Haven't seen him in a while.
I'm scrolling through the page, the event page for the year that he did that video, and I haven't bumbled across it yet.
Oh, the one that Mika's dad did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, nothing like, changing subjects just like that and not giving you enough information to...
Well, damn it, Deb. How many years ago did you say, Marcel?
I think it was 2018.
So 3 years ago.
Yeah, and it was July 20th was the weekend we held it.
Got Dr. Bob 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, this would be 5 years ago.
Yeah. Five years ago. Okay, I'll keep going.
Okay, hang on now. This is Mom's 11th Harvest Fest, 4th John Cook.
Everything I'm seeing back then is all audio.
Yeah, but this was a particular video.
I believe. Yeah, I remember it. I remember sitting there watching it while you were walking around because you bashed your knee.
No. That's it. That's not the video I'm looking for. I'm looking for. Holy geez, I put 102 pictures into that thread.
Just a couple, eh?
Yeah. I don't see the video posted from that event on
Hey,
that
Al.
thread.
Yes, sir.
So how's your plants coming?
They're going to be transplanted tomorrow into Dixie cups, bigger Dixie cups.
Bigger Dixie cups, so kind of like the solo cups.
The solo cups, yeah. I got. They wouldn't stand up because I didn't have one of those little puck thingies. I just have the pucks, so they wouldn't stand up properly. So I got little Dixie cup shot glass thingies. Been using those, and so
because they fit right inside of it, eh?
Exactly, perfectly. And now I'm down to I think 9, and they will go into Dixie cups, the solo cups, the red ones, up to the first set of leaves.
Between 21 and 30 days, them auto flowers that you're growing will
You know
set.
what? The candy cane is the only one that I had out, and it didn't make it.
It didn't make it?
Oh, we'll try again. Next, because there's another Dr. Bob show.
I grew actually about nutrients and stuff because it's coming to that point now where you're gonna want to know what to start amending your ground with.
Yeah, I got
your
the
pots,
auto
that
pots.
goes.
I got the pots out in the greenhouse already, and I just have to pull them out of the box and set it up. I think I'm gonna do that this weekend. We're also putting the fence up this weekend, so we'll see.
I like Gaia Green products work really well for outdoors in Nova, like around my climate, anyways.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it's
28 in there right now. It's warmer in the greenhouse than it is down in the basement.
That's crazy.
I know, eh?
What's your temperature get up to today, Al?
22.7 right now outside. Oh, sorry, in here. It's 16 right now. It got up to about this. I don't think it got much higher than this.
Nice. Yeah, it was 18 here today, but our wind was blowing like a bastard.
It's it's been a crabby day today, just like my mood.
It's been a little warmer here in the valley, but we've had that same wind going on, Darcy. It was just a cool edge to it.
Yeah, your guys' Apple Blossom Festival down there is in June, isn't it?
It's next weekend.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was coming up soon.
I'm just little trip down memory lane. I've just got in scrolling through the page looking for the video where I was convinced I was going to find it, I'm not seeing. I mean, the list of vendors I'm looking at, and probably a good quarter of them bit the dust with legalization.
Yeah.
It's I'm surprised, but not surprised at the amount of members of the community that we've gotten to know who are gone, and I don't mean dead. I mean just gone from the community, mostly because of legalization, partly because of not liking where everything's gone. You know, kind of
exactly.
We went. Al Graham and I went down to. Well, he went down to Toronto. I was in his pocket, and maybe a couple of hundred people showed up. Maybe 40, 50 people walked on the actual march. But the usual sucks, you know, Amy was there. The usual suspects were there. Neve. So it's nice to see that the people who started that whole thing were still there. Sarah Sunday was there. You know, I think Marijane was there.
I think I saw Naomi Pulley there.
Yeah, Naomi was there, and she is somebody who used to walk it every year, and she couldn't even walk it this year. She turned around and went back.
Oh wow!
I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think I've ever walked it. I don't think I could. Unfortunately,
we didn't. Pardon me. We didn't do a march this year. We've been getting permits from the city for all of our events, and they started requiring insurance, which wasn't too bad before COVID. It was maybe $60 for a few hours, right?
Now it's $600.
So you could pull something like that off for under $100 and go sell a few hot dogs to make up the deficit.
Yeah.
When Chris, pardon me, when Chris applied last year, I believe they wanted something like $460 for 3 hours, and it was just like, no, it's not worth it.
You remember, you've seen videos. I don't know if you've been to the GMM here, Deb, but we're talking in the past 25,000 people or more, and the police would escort everybody down the road as they were leaving, and Naomi and the usual suspects were all at the front with Allison Murden, who is the unofficial chair, I guess, because her and her husband run the group, and she was at the very front yelling and screaming like Allison does, and the police walked up to Al Graham because he was in the group and said, "Can you please let the head of the group know to stay on the sidewalk because we won't be escorting you on the road." So Allison, being Allison, said, "Fuck that shit. I'm going on the road." Went on the road. It took about 20 minutes for Gary and a few other people to coax her off the road because she was.
Yeah, knowing Allison, it wasn't easy to convince her to head for the sidewalk.
No. So can I run this video?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a video from Harvest
And actually,
Fest.
it was from 2019. So it was the first year after legalization.
Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. Next. Let's try that again here. Oh, don't push that button. You'll shut everything off. All right.
Excuse me.
Okay.
White Sumo, a rare slightly sativa-dominant hybrid strain. 60% sativa, 40% indica, created through crossing the classic Sumo target with white OG strains.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Woo!
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Are you an independent musician? How would you like to have your songs played on hundreds of radio stations just like the one you're listening to right now? Join MusicSubmit.com and we'll promote your music to radio stations and blogs in your genre. It's free to set up your account, and we guarantee your music will be considered for airplay by radio stations worldwide. Why not sign up today? It's free. MusicSubmit.com. Radio promotion for indie musicians.
This is how we grow the weed.
Darcy, you're on.
I bet you didn't think I was going to say something right away, did you?
I saw your mic on mute.
No,
I just want to throw in something quick before Darcy gets to work here. I wanted to mention that our location has changed since that video was taken. We're now actually on a campground where we have access to real electricity as opposed to needing to have generators buried everywhere to dumb the sound down. Hot showers and flushing toilets.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I was beside Darcy's toilet.
Yeah, well, we had to put it somewhere.
And an existing stage, so we're not recruiting volunteers for months ahead to organize and get the grounds ready, and
that's great.
3 days ahead building a stage and all of that fun stuff.
That's great. That's great.
No, it's
Maybe
actually
next
it's a really, really nice location. I would like.
It really is, Al.
I was ready to go there at the beginning, but then COVID.
No, well, yeah, but for the new location that we're at, I mean, it's way better, especially for vendors, because the vendors needed power. They had to bring their own generator because next to impossible to share a generator.
Well, and I'd have to go into Truro and rent 3 very large generators to run the stage off of.
Yeah. So the stage is already there. They have power to the stage. They have water to the stage, so we can do our demos right at the stage. And for me, that was a great one this year because it allowed a bit of shade, or last year, I guess. And it's no fault of the campground, but it would be better if there was electrical hookups in front of, or in the campsites in front of the stage instead of over to the side.
Yes.
That way the vendors in the booths could partake and be able to see what was actually going on down at the stage. Whereas it's pretty much impossible at the angle that they're at. Other than that,
I was at a festival there the following weekend. I just, pardon me, popped up on a Saturday evening to see what their setup was like and what was going on. And they only had like 2 vendors.
Oh, yeah.
And they were in the unpowered sites fairly close to the stage.
See, that's what I was just thinking of just now as we were talking that if we have any vendors that don't require power, we should put them across there. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
It would also end up drawing more people to the stage.
Food for thought.
You can have your meeting after the show.
Sorry. Yeah. Hey, we don't get to talk very often about things like this. Getting bands lined up?
I believe Cindy has them all in order.
Excellent. So we've got a good selection of...
The ballpark of 14 bands over the course of the weekend.
Nice.
Are our buddies showing up?
Which buddies?
I sent a message out and heard that he'd talk with the guys and get back to me, and that was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, well. I'm talking about the Royal Kush Band.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be surprised.
Well, busy. Everybody's back doing what they love doing. So,
Yeah, and I believe he's doing dispensary stuff now.
Really?
He's doing a lot of videos of his walks.
What you rolling?
I am rolling up some hash.
You know what? I made some hash this week. That was a good segue.
Sorry. But the segue is we got to get back to Darcy because this is actually his grow segment.
I know.
Darcy?
Yeah, I was just patiently waiting here. That's all.
Well, the woman in the crowd had the floor.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, you could blame me.
No,
Oh,
Deb,
no.
no blaming you at all, honey. You take as much time as you need.
What are we talking about, Darcy?
But I was just going to talk a little bit about nutrients now, because you should be starting to think about that. What you're going to feed your plants outdoors, whether you're going to amend the soil.
So I've got some Floramax coming. Maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, you have
noticed I said Floramax, not Flomax this time.
Yeah, not Flomax. Yeah, no, they have some new products coming out on the market here. Some of them should be in Canada by July. Cool. Late September at the latest, but they're hoping for July. What it is it's a 1-part powder. I won't talk too much about it because I'm going to bring Jason on, which is one of their regional reps, and I'll let him talk a little bit more about it. But the gist of it is this product is a 1-part product that you feed from seedling to harvest, and it has everything in it that you need to feed your plants, and it's pH buffered, so it levels your pH out in your waters for you to them optimal levels.
So I will be able to take this, put it into my auto pot, and mix it around a little bit, and when it's empty, I put more in.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Well,
you just top your reservoir. You fill your reservoir back up with water, and then you mix accordingly. So if it's a 40 liter reservoir, then you're going to use 40 grams.
I don't know what this is. I know the pots are 15. What do you remember what the?
It's probably a 5-gallon tank.
Okay.
But
do you have a square black?
Oh, go ahead, I haven't even opened up the box yet.
Hasn't you opened it?
I haven't even. It's sitting in the greenhouse. That's what we're doing this weekend. If it was cool, if it was warmer, I'd say I'll grab my phone and go out and do it right now, but it's not.
And you got a flexi tank?
No, I got an actual auto pot system.
Yeah, I know, but
your reservoir. No, they have two reservoirs. One is a flexible bag type tank, and the other one's a hard tank.
This is, I believe, it's a hard tank.
So then you have the 40. You have the 40-liter one there now.
Okay.
Regardless, when you open it, you'll find out how many liters it'll take.
Yeah, we'll do that on the show when I in a week or two.
Because you're going to run your nutrients through your auto pot.
Yep.
You're going to have to pick up an EC meter.
Okay.
Because water evaporates, nutrients don't.
Okay, so you
as
have to
water is
always
evaporating down, and because you're using this in a greenhouse, so you may have a higher rate of evaporation than you would say in your tent. Or
Probably.
And as your temperature rises, your EC and pH will rise too.
Okay.
Right. So that's why you have you get yourself an EC meter. Ideally, since you're automating everything, get an automated one that connect to your phone. Then you can monitor it all the time. You don't have to be out there checking it with a meter, twice a day type thing.
Okay. I'll look into them.
Go back to amending soil because a lot of people plant right in their flower bed.
Yeah. So if you're one of these people that are not going to buy normal liquid like a liquid fertilizer, and you kind of want to do the organic thing, and you want to buy all your different amendments to amend your own soil to feed the soil. You can get into simple recipes, or you can get into some more complex ones where you're steeping down teas.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I think I might, see if I can learn how to do that along the way. It's just
steeping teas. Steeping teas is really good because you can fight off you can combat two different issues at once. One, you can feed your plants, and two, you can keep away fungus and pests with the same compost tea. So
cool.
But yeah, so anyways, when it comes to amending your soil, Al, there's many different ways of doing it. You can do it in your pots and grow in your big 20 to 40 gallon pots, or you can amend and dig a hole and dig out a lot of the soil that's in the ground and put your amended soil in there.
Yeah, I thought about doing it. I mean, my whole yard is free. It's just grass. But, then you've got to deal with that stump. And those stumps are sometimes hard to get out of ground, man. I've had to do
the next spring.
I've had to do that helping Mama Hawk a few years ago. And they were just huge plants. And you literally need to pull them out of the ground with a fucking truck attached to them,
No, you don't. You leave them until next spring.
And then they come right out.
My stalks are still sitting in my pots.
Yeah, you know what? I just had Aries pull all of the pots out and dump them in the garden, and they just came right out because everything was dry. So yes.
No, so yeah. So I mean, I'll go out this week and pull all my roots and empty out my bags.
That's what I basically already did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that last 2 weeks ago.
My stalks are also, 5-6 feet high.
We had snow 2 weeks ago, Darcy.
I know you did. That's brutal, dude.
So Darcy, what I used to do is I used to lay out a thick black plastic sheet beside my garden every year, and I would get bags and bags and bags. Lily loved it because she would go barefoot just to break up bales on this black plastic and then mix everything. So there was perlite, there was peat, I
thought about doing that. We talked about that last year, doing that.
Compost, manure, but I did this for years. I did this.
Yeah. In the brick, right?
Pardon?
Right in the brick.
I mean, right in the brick.
You're talking about slicing open the brick and just not even
No.
Oh.
I would buy a brick of peat, bring it here,
mix your own stuff,
and mix my own. So I had my own recipe that I used for years.
Well,
with
ProMix has only been around for 10 years or so.
Right. And then I tried ProMix one year, and I split my pots. Mm-hmm. Half were ProMix and half were my own recipe, and my results were almost the same.
Now,
There was no difference.
I've heard that shells, ground up shells, are good as well, and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all that stuff's good, Al. It's just what are you looking to feed? It all comes down to what microbes are you feeding in the soil, and different things will feed different microbes.
Oh, and
insect frass. A lot of people use insect frass, like the organic people that mix their own soils. They use a lot of insect frass because that's a quick soluble source of nitrogen.
And I've been watching Homestead Rescue, and they use ashes from the fireplace. Mix it into the soil. Now, this I knew. My mom's been doing it for
But
years.
why do they do that?
For the acid in it.
Right, for the pH, to lower the pH.
Okay,
They're trying to stabilize the pH.
pH. Okay.
So
but remember,
before
for
you
every
before you
shovelful-
go and but before you go and add ashes to your soil, test your soil.
Okay.
All right, check your pH of your soil before you start adding ashes to it or lime to it.
I'm not, you know what? I'm not adding, I'm using what I'm using this year. I got a small bag to do the Dixie cups. I'm using Pro Mix, and it's a herb and vegetable mix. I figured, you know what? If it's good for vegetables and herbs, it's good for our herbs, which means it's good for edibles and things like that, right?
Yep.
So that's what I'm going to try this year, and I can get the big bales of it as well. I just have to order it. So
yeah,
and Pro Mix is not that expensive. I mean, you can go out and get yourself a truckload of fucking manure and a truckload of fucking soil and make your own shit.
Right, and I mean, I used to do that, and price wise, it worked out to about the same.
Well, you got to factor in your gas going to get it, you know.
Well, but because you got to buy separate bags of perlite, compost.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I used to put black earth because it really retains moisture well.
That's all I could get last year when I got here because everything was already gone.
Yeah. Worm castings is another one.
Yes, I've seen people use that. I've watched a lot of different videos.
Here's a cool trick. If you're going to grow outdoors in soil, it does not hurt every once in a while to add a few tablespoons of molasses per gallon of water.
I've heard of that before. Yes.
You're feeding microbes, Al.
Blackstrap's the best.
Okay.
Yes,
exactly.
organic. And the reason they always suggest blackstrap is because it has less sulfur in it.
Now there's less sulfur, but how it works is by feeding the microbes, it causes them to eat more, which breaks down more nutrients to feed even more microbes.
So where do I put that into the pot?
In the water.
You feed in your water and feed your plants.
So I'm not feeding my plants directly at all with this system. I'm doing it all in the reservoir.
Okay, then you need some system maintenance too.
No, I'm asking. Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, but with the molasses one, you can top feed. So what I used to do use autopots for, because autopots are notorious for clogging. All right.
Your lines will clog out.
Your lines are going to clog because of nutrients, or basically your ppm of your water.
Yeah.
It all starts to collect on the hoses and at the valves.
Just like my urinary tract, I get clogged. Same thing.
Right. So yeah, but
you too, Darcy.
The difference with this is
I grow stones.
You've got to disconnect it and then blow through it to try and blow that clog out.
Okay, no problem.
Right.
I get a pressure washer. That'll work.
Just keep replacing your spaghetti line.
I'm kidding.
Or you or you have to replace your lines, and it's a pain in the ass. But the system maintenance they have, for however it works, it's phenomenal.
Well, we'll cross that border when I need to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to do it, but what I used to do with my autopots was just feed them water through the autopot, and I used to top feed nutrients because you can pour whatever you want on the top soil. The water level is not going to change.
Yes.
Right.
See, my thing is I'm worried about burning them. I'm worried about putting too much in. I did not like. I did not like the flavors of any of the strains that I did last year, and I'm equating that to the chicken poop that I used.
Yeah. See, it depends on how much you use. I mean, chicken.
I did what the instructions told me to do. Take X amount and just put it right on top, and then water them. That's what I did. But I guess it didn't. They were still sitting there when I pulled everything up. Some of them, so it wasn't flushed through, I guess.
Oh no, definitely. Growing outdoors, in the soil is impossible to flush.
Yeah.
You can flush them if you grow into pots.
So with the auto pots, it'll flush a lot easier.
As we're finding out, flushing doesn't really make a whole big difference unless you've been really extremely feeding them right up to flower or right up to harvest.
Well, I mean, at the farm, I think by the time I got something, some food for them, I only fed them maybe 3 times. Right.
Yeah.
At the farm. And then here, I only did the chicken poop once. Right. I still got the stuff. I'll use it in my roses or whatever. Right. But I did not like, there was no flavor there of anything. I mean, there was some nice buds and nice smoke there, but there was no flavor. And I like the flavor. I've become spoiled.
Yeah. Debbie, are you growing this year?
Hubby is.
Is he doing your 4 plants? Or
no, we both have exemptions.
Oh, right. So you're both growing a whole bunch of plants then. Good for you. We need more of that.
Enough to get us through till next year, hopefully. Anyway.
I'm waiting on my paperwork, but it's been sent in. So.
But
I'm just
we need more people to grow, and we need more people to grow outdoors.
Well, that's why I bought a greenhouse.
That's not outdoors.
I'm also going to get a solar fan that just clips up. Get 2 of them, one blowing one way, one blowing the other way. Move them.
Good idea.
Just because I don't, there was a lot of, I had a power going in there just by via an extension cord and a fan going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it just like, there's so much moisture in there. I just got worried. I didn't want to electrocute myself. So this year I'm going to get a solar fan that just clips it. They're camping fans or whatever, right? They just clip on. There's some places to clip them up on the.
You had that much moisture in there?
Oh, fuck yes. Yep.
So
and now I've got a humidity control arm that I bought. I have to put that in this week as well.
Yeah.
And if it works well, I'll get another one. But for now, I have one of the windows open and one of the windows closed. There's not as much moisture as in there right now because I opened a window.
Yeah.
We've already cleared it out. There was also a very green garden in there of grass and daisies, not daisies, daisies.
Dandelions.
Dandelions. Thank you. Like there was enough dandelions in there that I could have made some dandelion tea, but I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
Should have. It would have helped you with your inflammation.
Would it have? Well, for next time, I know, but I sent my helper out and he just did it. So I heard the weed whacker fire up. I went, there goes the dandelions. Anyways, this is riveting radio. Well, yes.
Tell me about calling 911.
Oh, so I get in. I was pressure washing Dean and Alzora's deck because I bought a pressure washer and I had already done most of mine. And I went and got in the car to go home, and my phone, I couldn't see what time it was or anything, so I just started just clicking, and then all of a sudden, on the car alarm, and then I hear a voice, 911. Are you okay, sir? I'm like laughing. Yes, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I was trying to turn my volume up. So then I had to go through a 5-minute conversation with the actual 911 police.
Yeah.
To make sure I was actually indeed okay.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting out
Someone might have
front
had you
in the car.
kidnapped, Al.
Yeah, I was just sitting out front in the car. I mean, at the end, we were all laughing, and I apologized. I mean, it was just like I just randomly was going, "What the fuck, you stupid phone!" And then all of a sudden, drama.
I saw something about the police in BC are asking people with Android phones to disable the emergency 911.
We've been getting a lot of those. Not the emergency. Oh yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. That's what it is. There's an actual setting in there that says click 3 times for 911 or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, you can take it off. Yeah.
How do you find that?
I don't want to do it with Deb on the phone. I'll look after.
Thank you.
I'll look after. Yeah, that would hurt your ears, I think.
I'd hang up for sure then.
I mean, it's because there's no way if I'm going to call 911, I'm going to actually open my phone and dial 911. There's no way I want accidentally call 911 because I don't want them to get here and save them.
If I hold in Marcel on my home button on my phone,
yeah,
for more than 3 seconds, it'll automatically go that all I have to do is slide the screen and 911 will call.
And that's exactly what happened, but there was no sliding screen because I was pressing randomly. I was just frantically pressing, and it's an emergency thing that they have built in.
I've almost accidentally done it a couple times already, but
I almost did it again today, Darcy.
Yeah, see, it sucks.
Well, I'm going to shut it off.
I didn't know it existed. Yeah, I got to get rid of that because I don't want. I don't want anybody getting saved.
Well, you know,
my 911's for you call 911.
My battery was dying, so my screen went dark, and then I couldn't hear anything. I tried to put it on the radio, and yeah. And now my fucking car stereo isn't working, so I'm wondering if fucking 911's been fucking with that. I'm getting paranoid in my old age. Yeah. Did you look at that Forbes article?
Which one?
I
had several of them here.
There's a few. There's one Forbes article that I posted. Something 420 or something like that. 420.2 or whatever it says. I can.
Is that the AI drug development tool?
No. I will have a look here and see what I can find.
Because I got one, and that is about California's pot industry.
Yes, there's that one. And I've been posting a lot of recipes and dog stuff lately.
Yeah. No, California is about to get hurt.
Yes. Yeah.
They've got a large number of pot shops going out of business because they can't make the tax payments. And this is 22 report estimated that the industry was collectively sitting on over $600 million in debt. That's probably a bit too much. And again, it's maybe the taxes are a bit too high, right? That's Canada's having the same problem.
There's very similar things going on down in California that are going on up here. Yes, I've noticed that.
Yeah, but it's always been like that.
Before us, it was like that there.
No. California is Canada is almost mirroring exactly California, right? Other than, I mean, they had way better changes than we did.
Well, if you remember,
and they have stronger
correctly,
pesticide laws than we do too.
While we were
Yeah.
going through this whole legalization thing, there was a lot of Californians watching what Canada's doing, and Canada's watching what California is doing, and Colorado.
Right. Well, Colorado and Washington, Oregon, that whole coast area there, they were all watching Canada because. But I'm talking right back from the beginning in the medical systems, right? With the medical programs, Canada almost followed suit. But when we were at 40,000 patients, they were at 750,000 patients. And we basically have the same populations, right, as a country.
Okay.
So they just did it on a much larger scale for their medical than Canada allowed us to do because of the regulations and making doctors gatekeepers.
They also realized that people are going to do it anyways.
Right.
But now they're clamping down on Humboldt and stuff like that because the amount of grows that are going on there are actually impeding the environment because some of those growers are not necessarily doing it organically or correctly.
Well, yeah, I mean,
some of them growers are Mexican cartels.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't want to label anybody, but what's going on basically is the runoff from all the chemicals that they're using in these grows and in the forests of Humboldt are corrupting the natural environment and the waterways.
Right, but it's not just that. That's not also the issue. The other issue is the amount of water that they're using.
Okay, so it's
Right.
starving the rest of the area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anybody that's downhill or downstream that's trying to grow a legitimate grow faces water problems.
Is that happening here?
Water problems? No. Our problem here is the taxes. So like I said, California's problem is the taxes.
Should we be worried about all these home grows and all these professional grows that are using chemicals and they're putting them back in the water? Darcy, what does Truro do with the water after it's been circulated? Do they, fix it up and distill it and make it back to good water? What do they do, or what do other companies do? Not necessarily Truro.
Well, I don't know if I can speak onto it or not, so I won't say much, but I'll just say that a lot of it gets dumped into your storm drain, which you have to pay for.
Okay, fair enough.
You're talking
a lot of the
water?
Yes.
See, because people use nutrients and everything in their gardens.
Yeah, I realize that, but I mean, because of this whole legalization thing, and I don't necessarily mean professional grows. I'm talking about your layman, me, all that water that I put in to those pots. It goes in and it'll drip down from the greenhouse roof and into the soil. And do I have to worry about any of those chemicals that are going into the soil? Is what I'm getting to corrupt the area.
No, because all of that water would be condensation. It's not.
So it's distilled. Essentially.
Well, it's not. No, it's not distilled because you didn't boil anything. It's condensation. It's from the atmosphere.
Okay.
Right. So you keep your lid on your tank and you keep your lid on your auto pots. You don't have water going to atmosphere.
Okay.
Right. So the only condensation you're going to have is
from the ground.
Literally, well, from the ground and from the air itself. Right. Because the air has water in it. If it can attach to to plastic window, then it's going to, and then eventually it'll form a bubble, right? And then maybe drip. That's water.
Okay.
That's basically it's
Is that
rain.
not a form of distillation?
No, distillation is when you boil your water and collect the
Well, I
steam.
mean, there is an overabundance of it there because it's so warm in there.
It's not boiling. It's not 212 degrees.
Okay.
A lot of it, Al. A lot of it is evaporation from perspiring from your plants.
Yeah. Okay. Which would be filtered water because the soil filtered it, the roots filtered it, the plant filtered it.
So it's filtered, not distilled.
Yeah. Well, but it's not. It's think of going. If you had no plants in there at all, you could still end up having condensation in there.
Okay.
All right. And it's because it's in the air. Think of how a cloud is formed. It's just a cloud is just a lot of that moisture that's in the air, which is humidity, got impacted together and formed a cloud.
So I could literally make a cloud in there.
Sure.
So if you're looking for a word, would it be reclaimed water?
Not really, because you're only
up
reclaiming it from the air, and it's due to temperature fluctuations on the outside and the inside. Right?
So one of the things that they did on one of the homesteads was they had a sulfur spring. So they brought up the sulfur spring and poured it into a tub that had black plastic on it, and then they put a window over it. The water through condensation attached itself to the windows and came down and went into a trough, and it was clean drinking water. That's why I thought it was the same kind of thing.
Right. That's just using condensation.
Okay. Cool.
So they basically you get to do that with dirty water, right?
It's a clean
the same way.
Yeah.
And you could clean it. I mean, it would be very rudimentary. I don't know how clean, because I don't know if you would get rid of the flavor molecules.
I don't know.
I
don't need to do that.
I don't have to.
This
right?
is all in Alaska, right? So.
Yeah. But yeah, don't worry about what you have for condensation. Worry about the fact that you have that high humidity that you have condensation, because that's an invitation to mold and powdery mildew on plants.
Yeah, and that's what keeping the fans going tries. Like I had a little powdery mildew at the end, but I was washing my plants, and then I washed the plants. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but I washed the plants on the show last year. So.
See, I think differently because I don't have a greenhouse, but I know that if I built a greenhouse, what I would do is I would ensure that I had windows or ventilation, some form of ventilation along the bottom. All right. And the reason being is the air is cooler the closer to the ground. So it could draw cool air in and vent hot air out the top.
It'd be very easy to put a vent down at the bottom.
Right. And that would allow for air circulation.
Yeah. I get that. But this has two windows. One will have a humidity vent on it, a humidity arm on it. And the other one I'll just be opening and closing when I need to. In fact, I might just leave that one open for now just to see what happens and let the other one dictate when it's going to open on its own.
Does it only do humidity or does it do temperature as well?
It's just humidity arm.
Because temperature is important too, because you really don't want your plants to go over 90 degrees.
No.
That's why I'm having fans in there as well.
Because your plants start going over 90 degrees, they tend to start growing balls.
Dude, I guarantee you it's not going to get more than 90 degrees here.
I've seen it go over 90 degrees in my backyard.
Yeah, but you're not up this high.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Marcel, you're not as high as Al.
I'm higher. Well, he's probably higher right now, but
I think I am higher right now.
I don't know.
I
I'm
can't
pretty
believe I'm
high.
trying to roll a joint.
I just had some Acapulco Gold and some of the hash that I made this week.
And they're predicting this year is going to be even warmer, which means I've got to look at putting up a misting system again.
You know,
You're gonna put your misting system up, Marcel?
I'm going to have to, I think.
I just saw something on that.
I was thinking about running, making a makeshift autopot system outdoors with my floats for my plant pots.
Yeah,
because I can sit them up on that flower bed, which is 2.5 feet higher than all the pots, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I can have my reservoir tanks sit and just run my spaghetti line out from there.
Did you guys notice the what I made this week for the hash? No, for the hash making. I took what I did was I took 2 buckets. I drilled a hole in one. Then I took another piece of pipe and I put it in there, raising it up about a half a foot, so that I can just switch the buckets and
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out really well. It wasn't as messy. We tried to do the first round, Dean and I, in my living room.
Are you nuts?
Not a good idea.
I tell you what, I make hash in either the bathtub or outside.
Bathtub.
Well, we moved
Bathtub,
out.
dude.
We moved out to the deck for the third round, and then I strained everything out and took out of the all the product, and then ran it again, and I left it sit overnight, and then I went out and got a whole bunch more. Then I ran it again, and that was it. And then it got dumped in the forest.
Do you know what, Al?
Do you what?
You should have come watch some of the hash demos.
I did watch the hash demo. I was there when you did it.
I got a cool thing. And it's the insert to a turkey fryer.
It worked amazing.
It's 5 gallons. So it fits a 5-gallon bag perfect. And because I use full mesh bags, I have holes all up the side and on the whole bottom for the water to pour out.
I just did the bottom. So should I do the top as well, like along the sides?
Yeah, but you don't have full mesh bags. Your
it's just
mesh
the bottom.
is only on the bottom.
It's just the bottom. Yeah.
On the bottom is totally fine.
But and so then at the end, what I did was, because it was still quite damp at the end, even though it had all drained out. What I did was I took that and I put all the bags in together and let it sit on some cardboard and drain out. And then I got what did I say? 9 grams the first round, and there's another round drying that's not quite dry yet.
Did you press it?
Not yet.
Oh no. I'm going to save you a whole bunch of time and a lot less chance of mold.
Don't do it.
No, get what's called a pressing screen. It's a square.
I have one.
Okay. So what you do is you take your wet hash.
I squeezed everything out, and then I put it on that. It's all sitting on that.
Okay, so then while it's wet, you put it on that.
Yep, that's what I did.
Fold it in half.
Fold it in half, yes, and then press.
No, place it on paper towel.
Okay.
And then
roll it out with a rolling pin.
Then place the paper towel on top of a towel, like a bath towel.
Okay, so it sucks up the moisture.
And do the opposite on the other side, so it has a layer of paper towel, and then this, and it'll draw the moisture out. You roll it with a rolling pin.
Yeah.
Till it squeezes every bit of water out.
Okay.
Then you put it on your cardboard to dry.
Okay.
And if the more you break it up into a finer powder while it's wet, the faster it's going to
I noticed that.
thorough
Yes,
it will dry.
I noticed that. It's only the first batch dried 3 days. It was completely dry.
Yeah, but if you just take wet hash and you leave it in a clump, microbes start to grow.
Okay.
Oh, fast, dude, fast.
Okay. You end up getting...
And hey, don't want to stop you right there, Marcel. Don't ever drink that water, Al, as much as you think.
No, I already, you know what? I already went through that, dude. I tried it at the farm when Michael and I did it, and I was just like, I had the shits for a week.
Darcy,
I
Darcy,
imagine
I
you
watched
did, dude. You know
Darcy
how much
do
E.
it.
coli bacteria you just drank?
I gotta tell you
I
this
put
because it was.
vodka in it and made a fucking pee. It was fucking yummy, man.
No, I gotta tell you what Darcy did. We made some hash one day, and Darcy decided because the water coming out.
I drank a bottle of it, this big, dude.
Just wait, it came out with quite a bit of product still in it. So Darcy tried it, and was it tasty, Darcy?
No.
Okay. The day after that, we did a microbe test.
Dude. Oh, wow. In less than fucking 12 hours, man.
So the sample dish can take up to 24 hours to tell you what kind of molds and stuff you have in your sample. And less than 12 hours, the entire dish was full.
Wow.
There was something like, I don't know, 300 different colonies of bacteria on that dish.
Holy Jesus.
And it was unreal because it's something that we've never thought about. I mean, we're washing it off, but what are we washing off? Well, we're washing a hell of a lot off, and this was all indoor grown stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't taste very good, and you will get the shits.
Yeah,
Of course,
but we
you know how much
started
bacteria you drank?
we started freaking out because where's this bacteria coming from? Right? So we started having to have everything tested so we could track it down and realize that it was coming from the biomass it was being used.
Well, I'm gonna chop everything up and put it on the mat and do that for another couple of days because I don't want any mold starting. It's okay now. I've been checking on it every day. Most of it's pretty dry. There's a couple of there's still a couple of that are still soft, so I'll break those up and spread them out a little bit.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Is I sit there with a knife and literally just shave it off.
You know what? I got into a system. I took a large metal bowl and I slid it right into the bag, and then turned the bag upside down and then rubbed it with a silicone spatula until it all fell into the bowl. And then I grabbed, collected it out of the bowl and made it into a lump and put it on the thing. But I mean, I squeezed them really well, so there's not a lot of moisture still in them.
Well, roll them with a rolling pin.
Okay.
I'll
buy a rolling pin. When I see one, I'll buy one.
And you'll end up getting much better product and dried much faster.
Okay.
And get yourself a stainless steel rolling pin, Al.
Okay.
Or marble.
Yeah, or marble. Yes, they make one.
I've seen
T-Fel makes one that's a stainless steel.
They might have them at Home Hardware. I'll go have a look.
But you can use wood because you're never going to be. I mean, it doesn't matter what you use as long as it's a rolling pin that you're comfortable using. The nice thing
Even
about
a tin camper,
but you know what? I got a lot of my mom's baking stuff. There might be one.
Yeah, but the nice thing about a marble rolling pin is it weighs a lot,
and you can do it cold.
You can do it in it. Well, you should always do it cold.
You can do cold with metal too. Wood, not so much.
Well, why not?
I don't know.
I use a wooden one all the time. That's what I have.
No,
I
but
make
I mean,
pie crust, and that's cold.
I mean, the wood itself. I mean, the metal or the stone would be a lot colder than wood.
Oh yeah, but I mean, does it really matter? You've already collected
you're just
the hash.
arguing.
No, you were, because you've already collected the hash. It doesn't matter now if you keep it cold or not.
Yes.
You just don't want to heat it up.
Fair enough.
Because it'll melt.
Yes. So, what happens if I decide to stick some hash in the squisher? Since we have a couple more minutes,
then you get rosin.
And would it be worth it?
Why not? Okay. That's actually how a lot
Depending
of
on what bag
commercial
you use,
rosin is being made.
I don't use bags.
Yeah, you might want to.
You got to get yourself a sifting bag if you're going to squish your hash.
Okay.
Because if you don't get yourself a 25 micron hash pressing bag, Your hash,
have
as
one.
soon as it hits that plate in the heat, it's gonna run away.
Oh, okay, I get you.
You lose everything.
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna run from the heat, and then all your hash is gonna be mixed in with your rosin.
Got to use a bag for hash, but commercial wise, there's actually a company that developed a press. It's a rolling press, and your only input is hash.
Hmm.
And the rolling press presses out rosin for you.
Well, I know there's a lot of gadgets out there, and if anybody's listening that has one that they want us to try, please get a hold of us.
These are hella expensive because they're
Oh,
meant
I'm
for
sure.
commercial application, right?
Yes.
And you're also putting in literally pounds and pounds of hash at a time.
Cool. This week I'm going to make ice cream.
Are you?
I am.
How much going to put in?
I don't know. I'll figure it out though.
How are you going to figure it out?
Well, because if I make milk, I can do it that way.
No. How much you putting in dosage wise? Because this
dosage wise, probably not much, not more than a gram, I would think. In
all
a
right.
small thing like that.
You're putting in pure extract.
Yes.
Oil. Okay.
Fecal.
So, all right. Think of your oil as a roundabout number 75% THC.
Okay.
Okay. So that means you have 750 milligrams of THC in 1 gram of oil.
Okay.
If you make 1 liter of ice cream, all right, which is 1,000 milliliters,
yes,
then you have 750 milligrams of THC.
See, now
which means each milliliter of ice cream has 7.5 milligrams of THC.
It's not. I can't use. I was going to use the same. With making the virgin olive oil ones, the caps.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do 250 milligrams at a time because I have a thing that holds that much, and put 1.5 grams of raw cannabis oil into that and warm it up on a thing, right?
Yeah.
A warmer. Now, would that not be the same good amount for some ice cream? If I went and used that same recipe kind of thing.
Okay. How many milliliters of olive oil?
It's a 250 milliliter
olive
oil container. Like I have a big thing of olive oil, but I have a measuring cup that's 250 milliliters,
right?
Which is 1 cup, right?
So he's likely going for 25. That'd be 25 milligrams per milliliter, wouldn't it, Marcel?
How much oil were you going to put in?
You said 1 gram for 1 cup. No. What did you say? You said 1 for every 100 milliliters, 1 gram, I think is what you said, right?
Right. So you're looking at 2.5 grams.
That's right. 2.5. Okay.
Well, you're going 250 milliliters.
Yeah. So wouldn't that be 125?
How many and what size are the capsules?
Ones.
Ooh, ones. They hold less than ones hold.
That's what you told me to get.
Yeah, they hold 0.5.
I just know they hold 0.15 grams of mushrooms. That's all I've done with them so far. So I'm going to make oil caps, and I'm going to make coconut oil as well.
1975. Just give me a second.
Math. You can hear that. You can smell the math going on.
Yeah. So you get 250, 2.5.
Ooh, look, there's a piece of
divided
hash.
by 0.5 equals. So you'd get 505 capsules.
Ooh.
1,875 divided by 505 equals. Yeah, each capsule would be about 4 milligrams.
Is that enough or not, or too much?
That's a good starting dose.
Okay.
I was going to say, according to our patent stuff, or to the patent stuff, Marcel,
3 milligrams.
that is a good dose.
3 milligrams was the dose.
Yeah. Okay. 3.6, wasn't it, Marcel?
Yeah, something like that.
We have 4 more minutes, and
okay.
Can
but
we continue this next week?
Yeah, but with your ice cream, it's a little different.
Oh, well, we'll talk about the ice cream next week, because I want to make sure that Deb has some time to plug where people can find information about Mom as well as Harvest Fest.
Harvest Fest.
Thank you, Al. I'll just mention again that Harvest Fest is the July 14th weekend happening at Fox Mountain Campground in Aylesford in the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia. Tickets are only $60 for the weekend, and that includes your camping. There's a chance to hook up to electricity for a small fee if needed. And this year, actually, I do believe that there's going to be an opportunity to have a small weed leaf tattoo if one chooses to do that. I believe earlier one of the things that we neglected to mention is that there will be some glass blowing in the evenings, weather permitting, of course. It's our annual fundraiser and an overall good time. If you like cannabis, good company, good music, and a fun time, it's an event for you.
And also then there's Marcel.
Well,
yeah.
There's me. But with me, I'm more of making sure we have lots of happy vendors and we have some really good educational information.
And hopefully, if he's got the bandwidth, we'll be able to do something on the Friday night.
I'm thinking because we've got CBG TV, that doing maybe some of the live stuff from the demos.
Sure, absolutely. If you've got the bandwidth, we can do whatever you want. We can just let it run.
I got 17 gigs.
Do they have internet there, Deb?
Yes.
So maybe we can tap into the internet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
There is one internet dead zone, but I don't believe that's anywhere near where the demos will be happening.
Yeah, that because if we have Wi-Fi at the stage, then there's no reason why we couldn't set up something at the stage.
Okay. Just prop a phone up.
Yeah.
Or a computer.
Or a computer.
Laptop.
We'll get something figured out for sure.
Yeah, cool. Figure something out. See if we can at least get the demos live, maybe even some of the live music in the evening.
Awesome. So now we have to go.
Yeah.
Because we've got stuff that we have to run before we go. But Deb, it's always a pleasure. Now we know you can call us.
Yes.
And we can have you more on more. Because we miss you. Deb used to be here for a while, and then she used to be with Al at Pace, and she's been doing this a long time.
It seems like forever ago now.
Yeah. So
if you want to start again,
if you want to find out more about Harvest Fest in Nova Scotia this year, go to mum.ca, mumm.ca. All the information's there. Thank you, Deb, for coming.
Yes, thanks, Deb.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're always welcome.
And I'll man the Dab booth for you again this year.
There you go. Dabba dabba doobie.
Right on.
This is the 420 radio show. We are live here Fridays, 7 p.m. to Eastern Standard Time until whenever we fucking decide to stop talking.
And Darcy should stay after the show. Just for
Yeah, but he won't.
He should.
But he won't. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, Deb.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
We are the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com.